Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I am brought to you by Hope Through Navigation. This is our Hood Recovery Services. And if you need to reach me, please do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to doing your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that screen. Let me share that. All right, August 1st, the power of creative action. Creative action keeps us moving forward. Guiding principles, all will be well. One way for us to examine the power of creative action is to take a clear look at its spiritual polar opposites, destruction. In our act of addiction, instead of building up our lives, we knock them down. We demolish relationships, careers, and property. We self destructed, harming our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. In many cases, our destructiveness resulted in losing our freedom. As melodramatic as it may sound, we can rise from the rubble, fumes, and bloodshed of our self destruction. We destroyed a lot, but we didn't destroy everything. Because we're alive and we're clean, we have the opportunity to rebuild. Most simply, creative action is everything we do to reconstruct ourselves and elevate our communities. It includes all the actions we take to build our self esteem, strengthen our relationships, and bolster our integrity. It's important to note that some of us use our creativity to build only our outsides, getting our looks back, doing our time, and being released, finishing the degree, or retiring in style, but deny our spiritual needs. That neglect can lead us down a path of destruction. We may not relapse, but we risk destroying some of the good we built in our time clean. The creative actions we take to stay engaged in our recovery, give of ourselves in service, and nurture a relationship with our higher power will sustain our spirits even as we thrive in other ways. We will make mistakes and may experience massive failures beyond our control. We are bound to take actions that undermine our progress and hurt others. We aren't perfect, but again, we can rebuild. Our capacity to engage in creative action during times of adversity is key to our progress. Learning how to be grateful for life's hard hitting lessons is the ultimate protection against our destructiveness. I'm going to take this moment to examine my destructive tendencies. Today, I'll find an opportunity to consciously and creatively prevent them from taking over. What a powerful meditation, the power of creative action. Creative action, right? Having the ability to anticipate how our current and past behaviors may play out in the future and then respond proactively. That's what this is talking about. Creative action, the power of being able to be proactive. You have to be proactive when it comes to the disease of addiction, because we cannot afford to allow our tendencies, our patterns, behaviors. These are all things that have been deeply ingrained in us since probably before many of us even picked up the first drug. So the muscle memory for those tendencies are greater than the muscle memory for the new way of living that we have. Fortunately, in my life, a lot of my clean time, 29 years almost, come August 28th, I have been clean longer than I use, right? I have been clean longer than half of my life. So a lot of the things that are positive about me are things that have been developed through trial and error, pain and tribulation, agony in some instances, terrible grief in some instances. These spiritual principles like being proactive, the things that I've developed today are almost second nature for me. However, I will tell you one thing. There is a way that my negative patterns get a foothold. They get a foothold when I'm resentful, when I'm angry and unforgiving. I can tell you like clockwork, I may have muscle memory that leans more into positive thinking, positive living, healthy living, right? Good principles. But the instant I become so angry and resentful and unforgiving, I am allowing the old patterns of the past that I walked away from when I put the drug down. I am allowing all of those things that I wrote about on my fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh step the first time around. I'm allowing all of those things to creep back in. And they don't stop doing push-ups just because they're arrested. They get stronger. And for some reason, as soon as I allow them to have any strength in my life, they have the ability to take me down faster than anything you can possibly imagine. I think if you look at your own life and you look at your own patterns and habits, you will see the same thing. When you are making a conscious decision to be creatively positive or proactive in a positive way, in any situation that you encounter, you will find that the outcome is always better. Even if in actuality, the reality is not a positive outcome. Maybe your child or your loved one or even yourself still had to do some jail time. However, the frame of mind that you go into that with determines the frame of mind that you're going to come out with, right? So if you walk into very difficult situations and you're feeling positive and energetic and you bring the energy, even if the actuality, the reality of it isn't exactly what you want it to be, your attitude is going to be strengthened as a result of how you approached it. I can almost for certain say that will always be the case. And I could almost say that anytime you stay positive in a time of negativity or difficult times, people have a tendency to want to help you more. But if you bring all that negative energy and you also are in a position where you need someone to try to assist you, a lot of times people won't be bothered with you because of the attitude. They'd rather take their resources and bless someone else or do something or serve someone else than someone that is so angry that they almost feel like it almost feels like a demand that you assist them, right? And we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. I'm glad to be able to get in here with you today. I want you to examine all of your destructive tendencies. You have to look at that fourth step again. You have to look at it and see what your patterns are, and then look for opportunities to respond consciously in a different manner, right? Consciously. And sometimes responding consciously to nip the old patterns in the bud, sometimes that means that you have to disengage yourself from certain people, disengage yourself from certain places and things. It's very difficult when you're first getting clean. I know there's a few of you that on here that are within your first year. It's very difficult getting clean within the pandemic and then all of a sudden be put in a position where you can do in-person meetings and things like that. Everyone that you meet at the meeting at some point in time will have be about goodwill, right? But not everyone at every meeting is in the best of recovery modes. I don't know if that makes sense. Everyone that is at the meeting in Narcotics Anonymous pursuing recovery in person, at some point in time, they can be of service and help to you. But don't expect that every meeting, everyone at the meeting is going to be operating in a positive recovery mode because life happens, right? But generally speaking, you can go to a meeting and open your ears and listen and find hope in other people's share. It's hard though if you go and you're judging other people while they share, right? If you start to judge their circumstances, their sharing of their own initiative, free will, they have no reason to share any of this personal information with anyone except for it's killing them or it's hurting them, and they believe that their recovery is in danger. they are sharing this information, and you're going to learn some things about some people that have nothing to do with you, but your tendency, because of other issues you might have passed through that are similar or seen, you might want to judge them, right? And just remember that everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame. If it might be them today, it could be you tomorrow, right? And you want an atmosphere of recovery when you're sharing from your heart. So give what you want, and remember that you can look at your patterns anytime, and decide to do something that is proactive, that is positive, and reflects the power of creative action. You can absolutely do it. I believe in you. My name is Mighty Stream, and I am going to stop sharing the screen here, and I'm going to be speaking to you tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for listening.